Piame, welcome to United Real Therapy, people. How are we doing? How's your Friday night? Me and Scholesy are here. Me and Scholesy are here for what is to be the biggest Manchester derby in the history of the Manchester derbies, because there's actually a trophy at stake. At 6 o'clock tomorrow evening, we will know if Manchester's red or Manchester's blue. We will know that, and you will go down.
That's 7 a.m.
in history.
That's 7 a.m. my time, so you can imagine.
It will go down in history in this city, or what would happen. So smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. We are here, people. So what would be? Preserve the past, fight for the future. Is that what it's going to be? So we're going to need to preserve the past and fight for the future. Or are we going to just cower our way into limp our way, like we've been doing for the past 10, 15 games, into a defeat by our biggest city rivals, who are going for the historical treble. We've got a chance. Manchester United have stopped people before. We've stopped Liverpool in the 1970s. Hold tight, Lou Macari. Those who know. And big up to everybody. But we'll see what happens. I give us 20% chance. I don't give us any. I give us 20% chance, because for me, to win this game, Manchester United have to play the game of the past decade, the best game of the past decade for me. Forget even this season, the past 5 years, the best game of this decade. By far, Man City are on fire. Man City are the team on form. Manchester City are going for a treble. So that it tells you all you need to know about how well they're playing at this moment in time. Manchester United are underdogs. There's not many times in my life Manchester United have been underdogs, but we are certainly underdogs tomorrow. So we will see. We will see, and we shall see how we navigate tomorrow. But Sean, how are you feeling? Sean, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I was just gonna say, for me, it's a 7 a.m. game, so you can imagine, my whole day is gonna be fucked, depending on fucked or super excited, depending on the outcome of the game. Yeah, dude, I agree with you, man. I would just say 20% sounds a little generous to me. I'm more
20% sounds generous.
20% sounds generous, Nuruddin.
Wow.
If I tell you I have confidence or any faith or hope, I'm kidding you. I think I have a 5% or a 10% chance actually of getting anything out of this game. My only hope is that we go down fighting, and that we don't. Of course, for me, this final can go one of two ways. We either win by a tight 1-goal margin, or we lose 4 or 5. I don't think it's going to be a 1-1 or penalties. Nothing. City are either going to smash us, or we're going to steal a victory and run away. And those are not very exciting prospects, if they ask me to think about. So yeah, I'm terrified. I'm terrified as fuck. I don't know what Tenhag is going to do. I don't know what team is going to show up tomorrow, whether it's going to be footballers or cowards. I don't know what type of energy we're going to be on. I don't know if the referee is going to choose tomorrow to do a madness. I have no clue about anything that could possibly happen. I'm terrified. Absolutely terrified of what could come on here.
Yeah, well, it is what it is. It certainly is what it is. For me, there's nowhere to hide tomorrow. One of the biggest things about football is that on the football pitch, there's nowhere to hide. There's absolutely nowhere to hide. And in sport, there's nowhere to hide. As soon as you take the field, there's nowhere to hide. Everything will show up. Everything about your football club, everything what's going on, all of it will show up. I predicted that Manchester United were going to limp over the line. Well, I didn't think we'll limp over the line.
You think?
I predicted that Manchester United, because he went for too many games, too many competitions, and you know the rest. I tell you every time. And the burnout of these players and the injuries have been what they've been. So for me, tomorrow, what am I expecting? Now, most likely Anthony is going to be out as well. Martial is out. Martial was crucial.
Did you hear that the players went to the hotel in some tinted glasses, because Tenhag is trying to hide so that no one sees who and what, who exactly is available for tomorrow. I read that somewhere today. I don't know how true it is. That on the bus, like, they
It's
covered the
mind
bus or
games.
something.
Listen,
Yeah, mind games. Yeah.
it's some of these mind games, but I'm not buying any of that business. At the end of the day, Martial for me was a massive figure, even though he was injured during the 2-1 defeat, so the 2-win win at Old Trafford. The way he stopped Akanji and Ake passing the ball to each other, and the way he stopped them coming right through. And if you remember, people, the first half, or even the 60 minutes at the Derby game at the Etihad, what happened was that Akanji and Ake were both running with the ball from their own 20-yard area and bringing it all the way to outside 30 yards outside from our goal. Martial stopped that. Martial was just making sure they were passing the ball, and we went man for man at the game at Old Trafford.
Let's not
And we
let's
stopped that.
not forget the way that game went.
We stopped that. Now, he's not going to be able to play tomorrow. And I don't think Workhorse is good enough to do that because he's not quick enough. He's slow. It looks like he's on a treadmill. And if I saw Anthony on Thursday, actually, where I was sitting in the East Stand. Anthony's box was right behind me. He was wearing the boot and he was on crutches. So it is what it is. But for me, that just shows you that's the difference. I look at their bench. I look at our bench. They can change the game. They can change the game. And we cannot change the game that's other than Garnacho. By the way, who was also limping towards the end of Chelsea. So was it Chelsea? No, towards the last games of the season against Fulham. He was limping. He limped off the pitch and he got taken off. So Manchester United are where they are. We'll talk about the teams in a minute, but Mumbai, everybody knows how City play. Everybody knows how they can hurt us. Yep. How do we win this game tomorrow? Where do we win it?
Good evening, everybody. Good evening, Therapy Army. Man, the reality of this game is we're going up against the best team in the world. They have been for a few years, in my opinion. What they've got in terms of squad, manager, style of play is just unbelievable. If you go high, it's good night Vienna. Haaland screams in behind. If you sit deep, you need to have a way of getting out. Otherwise, you're just under pressure constantly in the canvas here. There is a reason they've won 5 out of 6, and you have to take your hat off and say, you know what? We're all playing catch up, not just in England, in Europe, man. Everybody's trying to catch that now. They're at a perfect moment in their cycle. We as United fans know how that is. What we have to do in this game, and I think this will go for the players and the fans, you have to believe that you can go there and win this game. Mourinho and Vieira said something similar. They said, yeah, you might come up, you might not be, the better team, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you're not going to be the winning team. So Tenhag has to have, a plan. I love what he said in his farewell speech. And I know we're up against it like we all do, but we can win this game. We can win this game. We can win this game. Do you know what I mean? Our qualities are a way that Manchester City, have problems against. Less these days because they're not bombing forward as much. If you look how they changed the system now that they have Haaland, they don't have to commit as much forward. But we are going to invite City onto us one way or another because they're going to have the ball. And we've got the players that can break. But we have to be clinical when we get them chances because if we go up a goal, we're not a bad proposition. I know it's still City. If it was anybody else when we go a goal up in the Premier League, I'm confident we go and finish the game. But these are a bit of a special side. But we have to believe we can win this game. We're not just turning up. This is a final. It's a derby. We can effectively end this as the best season, one of the best seasons since Ferguson left. You get 2 domestic cups, 3rd, you piss on City's chips. Wonderful. But likewise, them going to make history. So it's going to be fireworks, this game. I think it is going to be tight, this game. Don't think we're going to get massacred. I don't think that's happening. I think you know what? And you can't listen. You can get massacred. It can happen, man. So if you look at the results, Leipzig 8-0 or 8-1 on aggregate. Real Madrid 5-1 on aggregate. I don't know who else got a thumping. Top sides.
Look at our results this season. Liverpool,
Exactly. So
City.
yeah, you can get thumped, but I don't think we are going to. I think it's going to be a tight game. We've got a manager. Do you know what I mean? That he believes that he can go there and he can do an upset, and the players have to buy into that. And I am buying into that. I'm realistic about the realities. I've covered it, but I'm not going to this final thinking, you know what I mean, just don't get levered. No, find a way to win. Keep your discipline, keep it tight. Do you know what I mean? There are openings against City. There are problems that you can cause Man City, and it's our manager's job and our players' job to understand how to exploit that. So the best team doesn't necessarily mean the winning team. We are way up against it, but you have to turn up, be focused, and transition fast. The quality has been a problem with Man United players. Loads of opportunities, loads of openings, sharpness of passing, quickness of passing, the right pass. It's got to be better against City in this final. I think this pitch is a bit of a slow pitch. And they're not, decision making, and they're not at home, but likewise, we're not at home. It's a neutral ground, and this is a bit of a slow pitch. So it's a very interesting game. And the fact that if we win it, given the odds, nobody's giving us a prayer here. It's like Kevin McNeely going in against Mike Tyson. Nobody can see. Even City fans can't see themselves nothing but an absolute, emphatic victory. But sometimes, that's not a good thing. That's not a good thing. So we will see what the gods have in store for us. You know what I mean? Inshallah, we will get something.
100. But listen, we'll see what happens. We'll definitely see what happens. But the biggest thing for me, somebody said about keeping KDP and Silva. Yeah, they're fantastic players for them, but don't get it twisted.
Rodri is the guy you need to shut down.
Yeah, and Gundogan and Rodri. I mean, they've got so many weapons. They have so many.
That's too many.
The biggest thing for me, how we hurt them, is that ball from Bruno to Rashford. That's how we're going to hurt them. That's the only way. And the space between Walker and John Stones. But yeah, definitely, City don't play all gun ho. With like the way they used to play with a false striker. Now they play more tactically. Of course, like Pep Guardiola, you always have to vary it from season into season because you can't always play the same. So you have to vary it. But the way
he's developing his team, bro. City have developed again.
Yeah, the way that he's got Stones coming in, the way obviously the fullbacks are inverted in to have more possession and more control in midfield.
Slander the Giants now back there. They're all big lads as well.
Yeah. So obviously, to me, the most impressive game that I watched Man City was the game against Bayern Munich, and how they kept in the game, even though at home at the Etihad, they stayed in the game for a long time, even though Bayern Munich were making all the running and dominating the first 20, 30 minutes. So for me, this team is resilient now. Man City, they're not conceding dopey goals like they used to concede before. So it will be what it was. Windy says here, we didn't believe we could beat PSG in Paris either. But I'll tell you this for free. I'd rather face that PSG team than Man City or Wembley.
Yeah, this is a much more difficult proposition, Wendy.
I'm sorry, this is a way much more in terms of the way they play. In time of the thing.
Do you know what? There's no pressure. There's no pressure. All the pressure's on Man City because they're so much better than us. Our boys need to use that. Do you know what I mean? Don't
I would argue that. No, I would argue that there's a lot of pressure on us because of the whole treble narrative. Like there's a lot of media being like the team is rolling out a lot of media interviews with Wan-Bissaka, Garnacho, Tenhag is speaking to the media. There's a lot of attention on this United team. The fact that this is the treble. The treble is on the line, and a United team is the one standing in the way of City winning the treble. That's a lot of pressure. When Rashford was at the players and Wags party or whatever, when they asked him about the game, the first thing he said was about the treble. Like there's a lot of pressure on us on both teams. I wouldn't say there's no pressure on us.
There's a motivation, Sean, a motivation. But the reality is, we are night and day in terms of quality, bro. Yeah. They are expected to go and win this easily against this Man United team. So that should be a motivating factor. That okay, the whole world thinks that City are going to wipe the floor with us.
That's a
Let's,
fact.
you know what I mean? Let's go and play. Let's go and do our game and be up for this game.
No,
That should be a motivating
I
factor.
would hope so, and I love your confidence, but I was telling you already before you guys joined that this game is a 7 a.m. game for me tomorrow morning. So my as in the rest of my day, my whole weekend could be fucked, or or it could be a really good weekend if this game. I think the main thing City are gonna try and do
Sean,
is that they're
Sean,
gonna try and yeah.
Sean, stop that. You don't have to live in Manchester. You don't live in Manchester, bro. You live all the way over there.
No,
Can't
I
imagine-
do
Listen, I
I
can't
do.
imagine what that there's thousands of City fans in LA, bro.
No,
Come on.
Nuruddin, trust me. Sometimes like we're committed to this life. Sometimes I'm awake as early as 4 a.m. like to watch United.
No,
So
I understand that. I know
it
it's
really
early. I
pisses
know
me
it's
off.
early.
It really pisses me off when the games turn out the way they do, and then it makes the whole. Because for me, like aside from the game, I like to watch the match of the day. I like to watch highlights. So if we lose or when we lose, I can't do any of that during the week. My whole week is fucked. But what I'm saying is that City, I'm probably going to look to slow the game down. I think. I think they would realize that like a quick paced game probably benefits us because we want to hit them on the break. So I think they're going to look to dominate the ball, just slow the game down, take any sting out of the game, and frustrate United. I think we might be misremembering that first game in Old Trafford a bit because we won. We had like a 15 or 20-minute spell of brilliance. That's how we won that game. For most of the game, we were shit. Like we're chasing shadows, and then we had like a 10-minute, 15-minute spell of brilliance. We equalized. Garnacho did that quick turnaround. Rashford scored, and that was it. That's how we won the game. I don't expect Man City to make the same mistake this time. I think it's going to be very difficult, extremely difficult, probably even hard to watch game. I hope that the team can take some of that confidence that Boumaier has. But for me personally, I'm going to be watching this game with one eye closed.
All
I'm
right,
terrified.
listen, big up. Malcolm, talk to me. How do Manchester United beat Man City tomorrow? The best team in the world, apparently. We're playing the best team in the world. So how do Manchester United beat them?
Look, first of all, I just wanna
By the
say
way,
big
just
up.
give you no Anthony, no Martial. Go ahead. How do you beat them?
Honestly, at this point, I'm like just hope and pray, man. Because
We hope
nah,
and
I'm so
pray.
good. You
We
know what?
hope and
Because hope and pray, man. Because I was doing a show with Aaron last night, and like we were just going to the squad, and it was like, okay, Anthony out, Martinez out, who else is out? Martial out. So I'm like, yeah. And with a full with a full fit City squad, like at this point, it's if we get a goal, we need to make sure our defense is tight, like sealed, like tight, because they're gonna keep putting the pressure on us, and you know we have to make sure that they don't get as much chances. Like we just have to make sure that they don't and like we just have to make sure that they don't create as much chances as they can. And by doing that is that you have to watch out for the spaces because like players like Mahrez and Grealish are gonna get into those spaces and they can cause a lot of damage in our defense. So we have to make sure that we close down those spaces and they don't get in. Um, Look, it's not gonna look pretty tomorrow. I can tell you that. Like and especially since it's a final, nothing can look pretty, nothing can look perfect. Like you know, like there's gonna be a lot of there's gonna be a lot of yellow cards, maybe even a red card if someone's starts being reckless. But to me, we just have to go in there, um play out, just we need to frustrate City. I feel like that's how we're gonna increase our chances in winning this game. We have to frustrate City. We have to disturb their play because once City get into the rhythm, there's no stopping them. And if we can score first, I think that'll be good. And when we do, we have to make sure that our defense is very tight. Um, so to me, tomorrow the defense is, I'd say, one of the most important positions tomorrow. Another thing is also the midfield. I feel like that's where the game is going to be won. And like you said, no, like you've mentioned this in so many of your streams. The midfield, that's very key because players like De Bruyne, um, are just gonna be looping in balls like for fun, and so we need to make sure that we have to close down that supply line because Haaland um is gonna be up there, and he's gonna be, if we're not careful, he could probably bag in 2 goals. And look, listen, I'm nervous, but I'm excited at the same time. But you know when once we you know when once reality kicks in, it's not as it's not as amusing anymore, you know as when you're just in the final. Winning it would make it just so much better, and we just have to go in there with belief. The players have to go in there, you know knowing that this is a big moment. Like, if we win this, this is like a massive step in the right direction. And I don't know about you guys, but to me, I feel like that's overachieving. Getting a Carabao Cup, getting top four, and now winning an FA Cup, like that's, to me, overachieving. Like, in your first season, like um that would just be incredible for Ten Hag and his CV. And I'm hoping that, if we win tomorrow, we can build off that, and he can get back in the transfer window, get what he needs, and we can start challenging.
Yeah,
But
we got my.
as a team, yeah, yeah, man. But yeah,
Listen, it's going to be very difficult. Let's not get too soon. Mundo, big up, Tom. Welcome to the stream, people. Mundo, if you can hear me, how are we beating Man City tomorrow? And how much percentage are you giving us? What's the percentage? I give us 20% because to me, some of these players have to play the game of their lives. Well, let me just get this. Big up, Alien Tenno. We are smacking these City Fool GGMU Glazers out. Some bit of breaking news tonight from the Financial Times. Jim Radcliffe is apparently looking to all the Glazers are going to stay. Very interesting. We'll get Tom's view on that breaking news just before. But Mundo, everybody knows how City are going to play. We see what the results they've done. Since we actually beat them that game, they went on from strength to strength. They're a different beast now to the team that we played at Old Trafford and beat 2-1. How do Manchester United beat this team tomorrow? And what percentage are you giving us of winning the game?
I'm probably more optimistic than a lot of Man United fans. I'm putting it at 50-50.
Wow!
I am putting it at
50. Love to hear that, Mundo. Let's go.
No,
Mundo's entering the building like Ric Flair.
Woo!
Because look, I don't think this City team is as special as people are making them out to be. Because no, listen, let me finish.
They've
Right?
only smacked on Real Madrid 5-1 in the semi-final of the Champions League.
Yeah, but you know what?
Nobody's ever done that in the Champions League. That's a record in the Champions League semi-final.
Yeah, but you know what's the difference? Because City have been smashing people where?
At home.
Exactly. So when they've played away and when they've played away from home, they haven't, like Real Madrid could have easily won that game in Madrid. I know it was in their home ground, right? And they've been away to places like Brentford and Brighton, right? And they came to Old Trafford and they lost. I don't think that this is an all-conquering. Yeah, they might go on to win the treble, fair enough, and they are an exceptional team. But I don't think there's been teams in the past where I've known 100%, like the Champions League finals, the 2 games we played against Barcelona. If you guys remember, I knew we were dead ducks. We were not winning those games, no chance, right? And I don't think this City team is anywhere near that Barcelona team. And I just think anything can happen on the day. But the main thing is, because regardless of how badly we've played, we've always within a game created chances, and we've always rued those missed chances in those games. Even against West Ham, even though we were horrendous, we had chances to score still. So it could be one of those games where we get those chances and we take them. And it's a cup final, so anything can happen. Now, City, rightly so, are clearly the favourites. So we go into this game as underdogs. I don't think there's any pressure on Manchester United. I think even if they lose the final, it's still, considering where we were last year, a relatively successful season. And I don't think the players need to even get caught up in this whole stopping City with the treble and all that nonsense, because that's for us fans. Yeah, that's for us. But from a professional perspective, what they should be thinking is this is an opportunity to win a trophy. So they need to go into that game and approach that game like they would approach any other game if they were playing a final against Man City or any other team, right? You're going in to win. End of. It doesn't matter who the opposition is. That needs to be the mentality. And the reason why I'm thinking the way I'm thinking is because we, for many years now, as a fan base, there's a lot of negativity around the team. And rightly so, because we've been subjected to bullshit for the last 10 years, right, or longer. But I've said it on this stream, on this platform, yeah, at the beginning of the season, that I'm no longer prepared to go into games thinking my team's gonna lose. I'm not doing that anymore. So I'm going into this expecting my team.
Welcome to my world, Mundo.
Yeah, I'm joining you now, bro. I'm expecting
Finally.
I'm expecting my team to win. Whether
Mundo.
or not they will win is
Mundo,
a
can I
different
just check something? Can I just check something? Have you been in the sun for too long in London today?
I think maybe I have. I think maybe I've got a bit of sunstroke. But listen, no, you know what it is? I want to feel excited about this game. I don't want to go into this game surrounded by negativity thinking we're going to lose, we're going to get smashed 4-0. No, I want to go into this game. As fans, we're supposed to be excited about this.
I'm dreading it. I don't get excited because I don't think
it's a cup final. It's an opportunity to win a trophy, and we're not playing.
Mundo, it is, but if Manchester United had a fully squad fit and we were not fatigued mentally and physically, I would be like, yeah, we can give them a game. I said it, you know, when we went through to the final, I was like, we're going to give them a game. It's a one-off game. And then I watched Manchester United play dross football, no patterns, no connecting. The only game that I saw was the last game of the season. And the way we played against Chelsea at home, I'm just like, oh my God, it just depressed me even more. But listen, you were at the players, at the end of the season gala, you were there. What was the vibe in the room? You were there with Tenhag. You were there with all the players at the awards, Manchester United awards. What was the atmosphere like? Is there something that happened there that gave you this newfound confidence in the team?
Number one, it was all the players behaved very professionally. All of the players, and they made a big deal of it. The players they came, they did the awards, and then they were sent home. And Ten Hag made a big deal of it because he even said in his speech, "For me, the season hasn't ended yet." And it's just the manager. The manager just gave me the vibe that
there was no after party, no turn up
nothing,
in the city.
Right, the players were sent home. It's like by 10 o'clock they were sent home. Right, that was it. So you having seen that firsthand, how the manager has that control over that group of players, means that. And we've had quite a long time to prepare for the game in comparison to the rest of the season where we've had games midweek every 2 to 3 days. I believe that manager will get. Now, whether or not we will win, I'm not saying we're going to win, because City are ahead of us in terms of a football team and as a club in general. So, of course, they are a very good team. So that's why if we lose tomorrow, then, you know, we can't get too downhearted about that, because they are a very good team and we have to accept that we got beat by the better team on the day. But it doesn't mean we have to accept that we're going into the game tomorrow and we should just lie down and accept defeat. No, I'm sorry. No, I expect my team to go there tomorrow with to win that trophy. End of. Because we can't let the thing is, as a fan base, if we start saying City are better than us, so and so
They
on and
are.
so
They
forth.
are, Mundo, by
Yeah,
far.
they are.
They're so
They are.
superior.
They are.
Look
But
at
if
their,
we,
look at their bench. Look at their bench,
yeah,
Mundo.
but if we use that as an excuse, if the
No,
players
that's not
don't,
an excuse. Listen, listen. All it is, 12 years ago is when they beat us in the semi-final. Yaya Toure. That was the
yeah,
day it turned for me. The power shifted. That was the day. And in the last 10 years, Manchester United have achieved 2 League Cups, 1 Europa League, and 1 FA Cup. And I only recognize that 1 fucking FA Cup. I don't recognize the Mickey Mouse fucking shitty trophies. But that's the record. While they've gone, how many trophies they won in that 10 years? Man City have gone strength and strength to strength. And that's the difference. So this ain't about what we don't know. This ain't about all equal. This ain't all equal, BS. They're a different football club. They're a monster of a football club.
I
That
mean,
is
Nurudin,
about
to
winning.
be fair
And they're
though,
winning.
once the whistle blows,
Yeah,
it's a 50-50 game.
they're
But
willing
I
to
think for
cheat.
now, it's still
Listen,
we
they're
can
willing
be
to
scared.
cheat. Listen, them and their owners are willing to do everything to win. Well, in our club, the Glazers make sure everything to rinse more money out the fucking football club. And let me just give this, somebody just asking me, Insane is saying, what's the breaking news? Well, the breaking news from the article in the Financial Times is that Jim Ratcliffe is willing to make all the Glazers stay. So that's what it is. That's what the breaking news is. But go ahead, Tom. Tom, how are you feeling? How are you feeling about tomorrow and how do we beat Man City?
Yeah, listen, big up as always everybody in the chat and everybody on the panel as always. How do we beat City tomorrow? Score a goal and hope for the best. Sit back. 10 men behind the ball.
And hope and pray.
Listen, pass the Fred, mate. I think we need some Jesus on the field tomorrow because look,
Jesus, Allah, Buddha,
I
anyone.
don't care who your God is, mate. You better be praying for tomorrow. That's all I'm saying. But no, look, I'm gonna say it as simple. When we play against City tomorrow, if we get to half time and it's 0-0, we've got a chance. And the reason why I say we've got a chance is we've got through the first phase of play. And the first phase of play with Manchester City is that those first 30 minutes, they can score
Crucial.
two,
Crucial.
3, 4 goals easily. We aren't even flinching. They can score 2, 3, 4 goals. It depends what mood they're in. That's the problem with how we play tomorrow. And I think Tenhag is going to look at the game tomorrow and he's going to play in phases. Defend for your life the first 20 minutes. You're probably not going to touch the ball. You'd be lucky if you might even see the ball. City are going to move the ball that quickly on Wembley's big pitch. Let them do their thing. Let them play in the little patterns and that. Let them, come on over the halfway line. Let them come on to you in that way. And I know we'll get on to, who the lineup should be and stuff like that. Let the lineup, let how City want to play. Let them play their game. You can't stop them. That's the problem. There is no, diagnosis. There is no cure to stop Manchester City's style of play. It's that infectious on any team that they will control the ball. They will dictate the play. But Manchester United's best, I would say, chance tomorrow is the counter-attack. And I know we've said that many a time playing Manchester City, but it's the one thing that Pep Guardiola can never fully serve proof in terms of his style of play. That's the one thing that can always let his team down in many games. And it has done for a lot of times this season. You have to admit in saying that. But the only thing I'm saying with Erik ten Hag is the first 45 minutes, getting to 0-0. Honestly, I will take first 45 minutes 0-0. I don't care if it's boring, dross, whatever. I don't care. And then come out in the second half and you fire and you make your move. First 20 minutes in that second half, catch Manchester City off by guard. Because Manchester City in that first half, if they're all over you, they're thinking, all right, we're going to have an easy day here. Man United are coming here to play for penalties. They ain't going to expect you to blow up on them. They ain't going to expect you to play in patterns, play your style of football. And like we say, the game against Manchester City that I always say, and I've said this for years, all the way back to even the likes of Mancini and Pellegrini, the way you beat Manchester City is you overload the midfield. You overload that midfield because they don't step that far up on the halfway line if they don't control the midfield. And if they don't have enough bodies in the midfield, especially when they move John Stones, who's supposed to be the centre half, when they move him into midfield, it makes the 4. So therefore, 4 against 3, when you know Eriksen's a passenger, really, let's be honest, you can't follow a play for, well, I don't even know. You probably couldn't even follow Stevie Wonder at the end of the day. But look, like when I look at certain players, Fernandes we know is defensively incompetent in some areas. Casemiro really against 4 other players who can just ping the ball around for fun. Like it's going to be a long night. I'm going to be honest. So I think the selection is key. But if we can, I don't expect us to control the midfield. But if you disrupt it, if you played 4 midfielders tomorrow or designated midfielders tomorrow in the game, honestly, I think you've got a chance. And like I say, get through the first phase of play, and then I think Erik Tenhag, you have to have some sort of a plan. Either come at them and have a good go for 20 minutes, and if you get done over, you get done over. All I expect from this team is effort, commitment, and you try. That's all I expect from this team. And this BS around that, the treble team and this, that, the other one, we can't control that anyway. We are only 1/4 of that treble. We couldn't control it in the Premier League. We won't control the result of the Champions League. We can only result in this now. But these players, that should not be your mindset in that game, is stopping Manchester City's treble. No. It should be, I want to be an FA Cup winner. I want to have the medals on the table at the end of my career and say, you know what? That legendary trophy, that historical trophy that's in English football, that a lot of people know anyway, has been the outright cup, domestic cup that you can win in Britain and in the UK, and especially in the Premier League, is the FA Cup. And to have that medal on the table, it means something. It's English heritage medal. It's a proper football in British. When you've been in the Premier League, it's one of the things you want to win when you're here. And Manchester United players, they want to. They don't want. I don't want them thinking about any flipping trebles or anything like that. Because listen, I think it will get done at some point in time. Somebody will match it. Look at how it's going to happen at some point.
Listen, somebody's going to blow the doors. Somebody's going to blow those doors.
Yeah.
Listen, I
worry. But those two motivations are not mutually exclusive.
I worry about the quadruple. Sebastian Manchester United, a team, whether Liverpool or Man City, winning all 4 of them. But Tom, I'm going to stay with you quickly. Give me your team tomorrow. Anthony out, Martial out. And Martial, actually, if I speak to majority of City fans, they always worry about Anthony Martial. And actually, his record in the derby is really good.
Yeah, he's got I don't know what it is. He's got some
sort of listen, so both of them are out. Give me your team quickly, please, Tom, and I'll go around everybody.
I wouldn't change the formation. I'd play 4-3-3 as we have done for majority of the season. De Gea is obviously going to be in that. Shaw, I think left back. Lindelof, Varane, Wan-Bissaka. You've got to go the most defensive players that I think you can in the back areas. Midfield for me, I would go personally Casemiro, Fred, and Fernandes. I think Eriksen coming off the bench, giving you something maybe in the final third and the final phase of play in this second half, or if it goes to extra time, something like that. I think it's key. And I think Fred's energy, he can last the game, whereas Eriksen, I don't think he'll last past the 60th, 70th minute. And as I've said before, I don't even think he could follow Stevie Wonder in terms of marking a player. And I think that's a worry tomorrow. And the front 3 for me, well, really, to be honest, if I'm being fair, I think it picks itself, doesn't it? I think we're going to be playing probably Garnacho on the left, probably play Rashford through the middle and Sancho on the right-hand side. We haven't got the wide option in Anthony, and Weghorst, I'd be stunned if he played tomorrow. I really would be stunned if he started. So yeah, that's my team anyway.
Big up. That's his team. Sean, quick, go on. Give me your team tomorrow.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that, first off, the motivation of stopping City and the motivation of getting an FA Cup medal, unfortunately, in this year of our Lord 2023, those motivations are not mutually exclusive. You don't have to choose one or the other. Both of them, without a doubt, are going to be on the players' minds, just the same way it's on our minds as fans. It's on the minds of everyone watching this game. They just have to step up. I think the other thing I would say, I think Thomas talking about dominating the midfield. It's not possible, I don't think, in football now to dominate the midfield against City, even if you play 10 men in the midfield, because of the way they play. Them dominating the midfield or that space is about their defenders, their attackers, their wingers. It's the whole team, the way they play. Even their keeper is good on the ball. For us, it's probably going to be a mid-block, so I don't expect us to be pressing City at their defense, and I don't expect us to sit back too much. I'm sure. I think we're going to try and make the spaces tight. And for me, the game turns on two elements of our game. One, what happens when our striker gets the ball? So do we have somebody up front who's able to take the ball under pressure, hold it for 5 seconds, and pass it on to somebody else? And two, what happens on the wings? When we're trying to play out from the back, most of our play goes through the wingers, either whoever's on the left or on the right. So is that person able to make the right decision on the ball? Are they able to find somebody in midfield or to turn and run when they're supposed to? I was thinking Shaw should play left back, but I thought about it again. I think the flexibility that we need, I'll play Shaw in centre back. So De Gea, Wan-Bissaka, Varane, Luke Shaw, and Malaysia. Then in midfield, Casemiro, Fred. I have a feeling he's going to play Eriksen, but I hope not. But like if it was me, I would go for like a gung-ho, really crazy system. I'll play Casemiro, Fred, and McTominay, Fernandes on the right, Sancho on the left, and then Rashford up front. And let's just say that we came here to fuck shit up, basically.
Yeah, big up. Go ahead, Mumbai. Give me your team tomorrow. That's an interesting team, actually. But go ahead, Mumbai. So let me say midfield. So you have in midfield is Casemiro, Sean, Fred.
Yeah, Casemiro, Fred, and McTominay. Casemiro can. Okay. Bruno on the right, Sancho on the left. Casemiro can do the job alone. I think Fred is going to be busy chasing De Bruyne all over the pitch. We're going to need two people in the center of midfield willing to put in the tackle.
The guy who's the match winner.
Somebody who can hold the ball, shrug off somebody and run. Somebody who can drive from our half to the other half. I don't think we're going to be able to pass through their team. We're either going to have to hit a long ball over the defense, over the top, or drive with the ball from defense to attack. And who do we have that can drive with the ball? Sancho can try, but I think in our team right now it's McTominay through the midfield. So yeah, we'll just go for it.
All right, big up. Go ahead, Mumbai. Give me your team. Big up, Kelly's from Medina, Chief Editor, United Real Therapy. Listen, we got nearly 190 of you in here. Please smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. Hit that notification button because it lets you know when we're next live. Come on, people, be part of the community. Here is raw, it's red, and we're always mad for it. We're always having it. That's what it is. Win, lose or draw, Glazers and the Vultures out, and Radcliffe can go and suck something. You know what I mean? Let me just stop myself there. But big up Khalees from Medina City. He says, Jim Racker, who travelled to Lyon last month for negotiation, is seeking to acquire at least enough Class B shares to take control of the club. Okay, it is what it is. Go ahead, Mumbai. Tell me your team for tomorrow.
Do you know what City are doing now with Jack Grealish? He's key. What he's able to do, he's not a direct dynamo winger. He's different to Sterling and Sane. Pep said to him, I want you to hold on to that ball as much as possible. People are talking about this kid's numbers. He doesn't have numbers. Even at Villa, where he's the main man, he doesn't score more than 10 goals a season. He does not do that. It's how Jack Grealish is affecting the team at Man City that is the most impressive thing about him. He slows the game down. He doesn't have to take the man on. You see him from a standing position. He picks out passes. He's giving time for that box to be flooded. Wan-Bissaka, I'm not coming to go low block, defend for my life kind of tactics and then smash a ball over the top. That will be part of a repertoire. I think Erik Tenhag is going to be telling these boys, listen, it's key to know when we're pressing and moving and pushing as a unit and when we're pulling back as a unit. Wan-Bissaka is a sick guy. I'm confident he will be able to give Jack Grealish some trouble. But he has to catch him, not when he's on the byline at our corner flag. We have to try and catch them a little bit up there to stop that progression. He has been very key second half of the season for me. So Wan-Bissaka is an absolute key tomorrow. That battle with Jack Grealish will be very important. In the middle of the two, you go with Varane. It's difficult, you know. Do I go with Shaw? Do I go with Lindelof? But I am going to go with Lindelof. I'm going to put Shaw on the left to really. The thing is, as well, Malacia against Bernardo and Mahrez, he also has his qualities. But I'll go with that, Lindelof and Shaw. In the middle, I'm going to go with Casemiro. I'm going to go with Fred at the tip of two. I want Fred to be pushing onto Rodri, not giving him that, endless time and space. Don't chase him to the defense. Don't chase him to the defense. What?
I think that's going to be Bruno's job. I think Fred's job is to look at the the KDB. I think that's going to be Bruno's job tomorrow.
But you know what?
Give me your team,
It's
give me your team.
difficult how to set that up. Yeah, I was going to put Thingy on the right hand side
Okay.
myself. I was going to put Fernandez on the right hand side.
Fair enough. That's your team.
Do you know what I mean? And I wanted to put Fred at the top there and say, look, you need to push on Rodri. You can't just give him free reign. Can't do that. And whilst Wan-Bissaka is doing his job on Grealish, the idea is to slow that play down. It's to stop that play and let it go backwards a little bit. Not think, right now, we're ready to defend as a unit because they're in our last third. We can't play the game just that way. There'll be moments where they beat the press, of course. But you're also going to have to get a little bit up the pitch. And Casemiro tomorrow will be busy. He will be having to give cover when we commit forward. We have to try and get forward as well, man. It's not going to work, that diagonal ball to Rashford. This is Kyle Walker. I know that's on everybody's mind. All we're picturing is a big diagonal ball, Rashford. No, it's not going to be it tomorrow. It'll be part of it, but that won't be nowhere near enough. You are going to have to go and take some risk. And Ten Hag will take risk. But I think how far up the pitch and how much we drop off, we have to be smart about what we're doing as a unit there. That is the key tomorrow, how we push and how we pull. Anyway, midfield, Casemiro, Fernandez on the right, Rashford through the middle, Sancho on the left for me. Sancho starts tomorrow. I save Garnacho to come on. You know, it's Kyle Walker tomorrow. It's Kyle Walker to me is one of the best in the business. So I start with Sancho. I like the interplay that I've seen in the last couple of games. And the final one in midfield, it's hard, man. Bruno over there, Casemiro, Fred. Do you know what? I will go with Eriksen with this game. I will go with Eriksen because I'm not just thinking of how to stop City. I want to exploit City as well. I want to give City something to think about. And Eriksen, in this game, I'm hoping he can play his part, man. He can play his part. And if it's not working, then you bring on Scott McTominay. But I would start Eriksen tomorrow. I think Sean's team is good as well. You know, I'm just interested what he's been working on, but I'm going to go with that.
Right, big up. We'll go to Tom. Go ahead, Tom. We're already been to Tom. Go ahead, Malcolm. What's your team tomorrow? And then we'll go to Mundo.
I'm gonna go with the 4-3-3. Just because I just feel like we just have to go for it. But also at the same time, you know, we have to make sure that we don't leave gaps in the back. So to me, I'm gonna start with the back line of Varane, Lindelof, Shaw, and then I'm gonna start Aaron Wan-Bissaka at right back. And I feel like with Aaron Wan-Bissaka, I just feel like a lot of his good games have come against City, and I feel like when he goes up against City, I feel like defensively he can do a really good job just keeping Mahrez and KDB at bay. So I'd start Wan-Bissaka at right back. In the midfield, Casemiro definitely has to start. Eriksen, I get where Mundo's getting with this, but to me, Eriksen, I just feel like he's slow, and I feel like with the energy and pace that City are gonna be on, I don't know if Eriksen is able to cope with that. Hopefully, if Eriksen does start, hopefully I'm proved wrong, but I wouldn't start Eriksen. I'll start with the midfield three of Casemiro, Fred, and Bruno. And Fred just needs to keep that energy going. He has to keep that energy high. And forward, this is where it gets a little bit sticky because Anthony Martial is out, and Anthony's out as well. So one of these players are gonna be burned out. I think Rashford, to me, I think he's gonna stay, but I think Sancho will come off. But I think Sancho should start on the right because I feel like I just feel like he thrives more on that right hand position. If you start him on the left, he just struggles to create, struggles to even just even make like more than like 5 touches. So I think on the right he can create a lot, and to me Rashford, Rush on the left, Sancho on the right, and then Bruno in the middle in the 10, and then put and then work us up top. I mean that's all we got really as a striking option, but that's my lineup for me. You know what I mean? But um yeah.
Yeah, big up, Malcolm. Mundo, give me your team tomorrow. What team are you picking to beat Man City tomorrow?
Very similar to what's already been said. So I think back four: Shaw, Wan-Bissaka, Lindelof, Varane, obviously De Gea in net.
Malacia or Lindelof? You playing Lindelof?
Lindelof. The issue is if you play Bruno on the right, then who's playing in the centre midfield? Because I think we've only got 3 competent midfielders at the club, which is, I like Eriksen, but he doesn't have any legs. This is not the game for him. So if he doesn't play, you've only really got Bruno, Casemiro, and Fred. I'm not putting McTominay in this game. No chance.
Why not? He actually has decent games. He's got a decent record against Man City.
McFred, baby, they're back.
Yeah, because you're putting him in cold as well. He hasn't played for a while, so if he'd been playing up, even if he was playing bit part, coming on and getting some minutes, he's not the type of player. I don't think he's got the quality. He's not like a Casemiro who can miss a few games and he can put him back in. I think he's the kind of guy that needs to get some minutes in his legs, and even then he's average. So I wouldn't trust him in this game. So that's the problem. And I don't know, Garnacho in the transitions is not great. He's okay going forwards, but defending he's not great. So we'd be exposed, especially with Kyle Walker on that right hand side. So it's a difficult one, really. I can see the logic behind putting Fernandes on the right wing because we need to.
I think we need to match them. We need to be able to keep the ball in midfield when we win it back. We need to have many options and many people who can fight for second balls and fight for duels tomorrow.
Maybe Eriksen in the 10. Maybe Eriksen in the 10.
Very dangerous.
Second balls will be crucial.
Something outside our area.
Yeah, that's why you need the bodies in the midfield, but we just don't have the quality of players to put there. Sancho's in the team, obviously, whether that's right or left. Rashford. I think the loss of even though I don't think Martial has had his best season, and Anthony has his critics and he has his moments, we definitely needed him for this game. Because if you've got Anthony, then that solves the problem. Because you've got Anthony on the right, he's defensively diligent, and you've got Sancho, and then you've got Fernandes in the midfield. I don't necessarily want to take Fernandes out of the midfield because that creates a problem in itself. If you put him on the right, who's the third man in midfield?
You just need 3 bodies. Like I think this idea that there's any world that we can play football, quote unquote, against City tomorrow, it's not going to happen. Like we're going to have 10 minutes, like in the course of the 90-minute game, we're going to have small, like 5 to 10 minute bursts where we would be on top of the ball. What happens then is the question, and it's probably going to be a counter attack. Does Sancho make the right decision when Rashford gets the ball down the line? Does he run into 2 men, or does he choose to turn back and be smart with the ball? Do you understand? Like it's those questions. That's how we're going to win this game. It's going to be sharp, quick. Do you take your chances when you have them? What happens when you get to the edge of the box?
The reason I'm making an issue of this is because Tenhag's system, right, is reliant upon individual battles, duels.
One-on-one duels.
Yeah, one-on-one duels, right? So in this game, if Manchester United stand a chance of winning, then you need every single player to win their individual battle.
But it's more than that now. No, So we've seen with Tenhag tactic, we know, like, for example, he likes his wing backs, Wan-Bissaka and the left back, to play kind of centrally inverted. We know he likes to do that. We know he has he likes Ericsson to be the playmaker basically on the ball, and the game flows through him. We know what he wants from Bruno. We've seen it throughout the season. One touch pass through the defense, behind somebody. The goal we scored against Arsenal, many of our goals this season have been like that. We don't have the option, I don't think, of actually playing football against City. It's going to be discipline for 90 minutes. Can we keep our eye on the ball? Like if
no, it's not even an eye
Yeah,
on the
that's
ball.
that's what I'm saying. That's the point I'm making.
It's about, listen, the key thing tomorrow is about positioning. It's
positioning as well.
if we leave certain positions, they will pick us up. The gaps will be there to find. And
Ask Arsenal.
The biggest danger, the player that they have is Gundogan. Gundogan has been their talisman. The guy who finds the goals in big games. The guys, when they're struggling, when they're missing chances, who turns up at the back of between a fullback and a centre back, behind him or in front of him or the edge of the area. The guy who's positionally intelligent is Gundogan. KDB is the guy that provides. Obviously, he can come up with a wonder shot, bend that top corner, do whatever he wants. But actual guy who is a massive goal threat, other than obviously the obvious cyborg, Haaland, is Gundogan.
And don't forget Bernardo Silva as well if he plays.
To me, tomorrow is like this, okay? If you're in a position, the back four or maybe the back six are like this, it's about being that. The spaces have to be like that. The spaces have to be like that in terms of any wider, good night, Vienna. Any wider, good night, Vienna.
That takes a lot of concentration to pull off Nuruddin over 90 minutes.
Tomorrow, our back six tomorrow have their work cut out. Our backs, and it's going to be the transition when the back six win the ball back. The ball
That's
to
the question.
Casemiro's key tomorrow.
That's
Casemiro's first and second touch to get the ball out of his feet to find the top four who are going to play. Whoever's going to play four of the pitch is going to be key in this game.
It's that sequence. No, you have it spot on already, 100%. That's the sequence. That's the game there. What do we do when eventually we get the ball in our defense and we've been under pressure for
have to be able to
10
keep
minutes?
It within 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 15, 20, 30 seconds, a minute. We need to be able to keep the ball a minute because what they're going to do, they're going to converge. What they do, they hunt in packs. The way they play now to the way they were playing at Old Trafford is that they will hunt in packs and win that ball back straight away. Can we put our body forward? Tomorrow, if Sancho starts, I need that little... Oh, I can't say what I need to say. But I need him to put his body to relieve the pressure. I need the forwards to buy fouls and free kicks. They have to do it. They must do it. They cannot lose the ball. Easy possession because that's where they find the gaps. That's where the midfield, we will have the gap. There's going to be a gap tomorrow. It's how much do we reduce the gap from our back five to the back, the front four, the back six to the front four. How much can we condense that space? If we condense that space enough in the game tomorrow, we can make it really difficult for Man City. Mark my words. Mark my words. And like Tom said, if they were to score the first one, City are a killer team. They would get the second and the third will come shortly. Manchester United, even if we can see the first one, we must not lose our heads. We must stay in the game. They will tempo it. I've watched Man City this season. As soon as they get one, they up the tempo and they up it even more to get the third and the second and the second and the third and the fourth. That's how it would come. The more we stay in it, the more it will be at the back of the heads. The more the movement between the Rashford from almost making that from left between Kyle Walker and Stones. I want Stones to play tomorrow. Stones and Walker, they are absolutely brilliant this season, but they have it in them to vacate space. And tomorrow, Manchester United cannot vacate space. Even if you think there's an opportunity to get up the pitch, and if the fans are saying anything, come on, no, we cannot vacate space.
I think it was Boomer that was saying that that City are under more pressure than us, and I think I was arguing the opposite. But I guess to be fair, he's correct. If we can exploit, like what you're saying, Rudy, if we can exploit Kyle Walker, he's prone to be absent-minded. You're correct. And what's this guy's name? John Stones as well. But Stones plays in midfield now, so like
No, but that's what I'm
um,
saying. So that run in behind him, because he, as a centre half, he inverts into midfield to dominate the ball. So the run, what I'm saying to you is Rashford's movement is going to be crucial. Rashford's movement cannot be linear. It cannot
can
be.
we trust Rashford not to run to the corner flag?
Yeah, it
And,
has to be an angle. It has to be an angle, and it's better coming off the left, almost Kyle Walker-ish. You know what I mean? And then going central. That run to central, even though he's a striker, that's crucial tomorrow. That is crucial.
It's
Guys,
Casemiro to Bruno to Rashford
I'm
now.
gonna start
That's
with you,
the
Tom, give me your score tomorrow. Let's go, people. The last game of the season, this.
1-0 Man United.
Woo! Smash you like Ric Flair. 2-minute Ric Flair vibes in the stream tonight. Go ahead, Mundo. Give me your score tomorrow.
I second that. 1-0 Man U.
Wow. Malcolm, give me your score tomorrow.
Wow. Honestly, like there's no way we can go out of the final without City scoring. To me, I think it's gonna be 2-1. But if we can keep them at bay more and say both teams score 1-1 and it goes to extra time, I think we could go out of the way, but that all depends on how solid our defense is, and depending on how many chances City can create and how many chances we can keep them from not creating. So, but to me, I think it's gonna be a tight game. I'm gonna go for 2-1.
Big up, bro. Big up. Go ahead, Bombay. Give me your score for tomorrow.
2-1, man. Done deal. Get ready to enjoy your weekend, boys.
There we go. Buoyant as ever. Sean, give me your score tomorrow.
I agree with my 2-1. 2-1. Cheers to a good weekend.
Come on, United!
Let's go.
Let's go, man. The hell are we scared of? Let's go.
Let's go.
He said, Sean, give me your real score. Don't be
No, Nurdin. 2-1. I mean, I agree with Malcolm when he says it as well. I don't see how City don't score. I don't know how this game is going to go. Like it's like, yeah, I probably am not going to sleep, but we're here for a long night because it's first thing in the morning. I'll just watch it and that'll determine how my Saturday is going to go.
I've got butterfly. I'm shitting my pants, but 2-1. We're gonna do it.
We're gonna do it. Yeah. They're going to score. Like, I mean, we might score first and then they'll score back and we win 2-1, or they'll score first and we equalize and win. But
this is it. This is what I'm visualizing. The
Dino,
power of visualization.
Nurdin, what's your score, Nurdin?
You need more than that. You're gonna need more than that.
Nurdin, give us your score.
Yeah, Nurdin, what's your
My score?
Here we go.
Yeah.
City 5-0, isn't it?
It's 4-1 to Man City.
Whoa.
Oh,
Come on. Come on, shut the club down then.
Right,
let's just pack up.
Now choose
let's pack up and go home.
Choose your bias score. Go on, Nurdin.
Now that's the truth. Listen, like I said to you, I've been going to this stadium and watching absolute dross. Some of the home games have been good, but I watched a lot of the away games. I watched the way we played against Brighton, and at the end of the day, Brighton have finishers. They score and bury us. And the difference between Brighton and Man City is that Manchester City have got finishers and guys who get a goal from absolute nowhere. So that's what's going to be the difference tomorrow for me. I don't see Manchester United scoring many goals. I don't think we're full of 30 goals. And I'll be here and I'll apologize to Eric Tenhag and the team. I'll be here. To me, all I see is Manchester City win.
I'm sure you can't wait to apologize. That's why you're protecting yourself. I understand.
No, I saw that. Listen, I'm happy to apologize to the team. I'll be over the moon. If Manchester United was to win tomorrow, I promise you, I'm going to paint this city red tomorrow. Trust me. Trust me. Mundo and Bombay.
Yeah, then believe now. That's what we're trying to do. Believe me, dude.
Mundo and Bombay know me, right? Some of you guys don't know me personally. They know what I'm talking about. I'm going to paint this town red tomorrow. No City fan is coming out of their houses. No City fan is safe tomorrow. If come about 5:30, 6 o'clock tomorrow, Manchester United have won that cup, I'm going berserk. Because I don't give us a chance. Nobody's giving us a chance. So that's what I'm gonna go tomorrow. That's what I'm saying to you tomorrow. City should walk this one because Manchester United, for me, tired, mentally, emotionally fatigued, and I don't see where the goals are gonna come from.
Even if it was me playing that
Man,
game and I'm not a
thank,
professional footballer, I'll give my
thank,
all.
bro. Thank God you're not giving our boys the pre-match team talk.
No. It's not about giving them a match result. Listen, at the end of the day, it's not about giving a match result. But to me, I'm a realist, and to me, what I see is the reality. Of course, in a
No, but the reality of football, Nuruddin, is that 90 minutes, anything can happen now. Forget
listen, that's what I'm saying.
storyline.
And
Forget.
that's what the beauty of football is. That's what the beauty of football is. Did any of you think that Wigan will beat Man City at Wembley? No.
No.
Wigan went and beat Man City
So
at Wembley.
stranger things have happened.
That's the track you need to get on, man. Here.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying to you, but the way I see a Manchester United play, I'm not being impressed for the last 10 games. And I don't see them turning it on. You can't switch a form on and switch it off.
Okay,
United,
that's your head speaking. Give us your heart.
United
Give us the score from your heart, Nuruddin. Like you're giving us from your head.
For Manchester United to win, they have to play the perfect game we've seen it from a Manchester United team in the last decade.
Mm-hmm.
So, man.
It's in them. Have they got it in them? Do you
I
believe?
mean, or City has to be 30% better than they were last week. That or that. It doesn't have to be, necessarily the best game we played.
The last couple of weeks, though, let's be honest.
But you know what? No,
They've been on the
honestly,
beach, mate. Like, let's be honest.
They're thinking about a treble too. We can exploit their weakness.
this is the thing,
right, guys. Listen, I'll be bigging all of you up here for tomorrow night for the match reaction. So big up to everybody. Love and light. And smash a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. Hey, big up. Last minute, they must have just finished the show. Big up to Jarvis Cocker. City's arrogance will be their downfall. Let's go,
Jarvis.
I'm hoping and praying, man. I'm hoping and praying. But to me, Manchester United, to get anything out of this, to win this cup, they have to stay in the game as late as possible. If we start conceding in the first 30 minutes, we have to be, like Tom said, that half is crucial. Second half, the beginning of it, they'll come out fighting the game. Man City will come out. We have to make the game into the nerves will start playing on their brain. If they miss some big chances and it's 20 minutes to go or 15 minutes to go, Manchester United will have to count. And to me, Manchester United have not been taking their chances. They have certainly not been taking their chances. So it's about taking their chances. Yeah. That's what it will be.
I mean, look at just on a point, like, look at with Manchester City, like, this is our final game. So, like, we're, if you like, going into this all or nothing. We don't have anything to lose, after this. Manchester City, if they lose one player, Pep Guardiola, he's got, like, two squads effectively in the palm of his hands. But you can lose players at Wembley. It happens all the time. You get towards the end of the season and players pull up or they break down. Like, it happens. You've had it many times with, like, for example, with John Stones. He picks up an injury every so often in a game. And I'm not saying that couldn't happen to us tomorrow, because it can. But with Manchester City, they've still got another game to go on after this.
Yeah, so, a lot of pressure.
You can look at it from both ways. Whenever Pep Guardiola gets into this situation where he has to win, normally on the big stage, he gets it right in terms of the performance, but the result doesn't go his way. And it hasn't done recently anyway. You take, for example, the Champions League final that they got in last time. They had it in the palm of their hands, really. He forgot to play, central defensive midfielder, and then suddenly they blew the final. Madrid, those kind of games, they switch off in games, Manchester City. I don't care what people say. They don't ever... The last time I remember Manchester City having the perfect 90 minutes was either against Liverpool when they smashed them at the Etihad or against us when they smashed us 6-3. That was the perfect point from minute 1 to minute 90 when they got the game all the way through. But the problem with Manchester City is, and in Pep Guardiola's mind, he will not want to lose 2, 3, however many plays in this game, because Manchester United, we can bring it. Like I say, you get suspended tomorrow, Casemiro, like, I don't care, mate. You go full throttle through people. I really don't care. You go full throttle through any of these players tomorrow. You need to be aggressive. You need to be on the front foot. And really, like we've already agreed upon and said, you need to win the duels in the second balls. And I don't expect us to win every single duel or second ball, but contest them. Be physical. I don't care if you shove somebody in the back. Give them a dig.
That's where the game
Let
is.
them know you're there. Like, you need to be physical in these games. Love it or hate it, you can say it's as much as an FA Cup final. It's a Manchester derby, for Christ's sake. You played 2 of these 2 times this year. You got blown away in one of them at the Etihad, away from your own territory. And then when you came back, you had to come from behind in that game. And I know for a fact, because I said anyway, I wanted to see if this team could come behind against the best. And they could. But that was at OT. We're at Wembley. Big pitch. And the other thing I'm saying in regards to this is the Wembley pitch suits Manchester City a lot better because we cannot cover all bases at Wembley. The only phase of play that we have in that game and the only chance in the phase of play, and that's why when you said Martial being missing, Rudin, really, if you like, is a massive blow for us, is the transitional play when Martial can hold it up on a halfway line, especially when we beat Liverpool at OT was a perfect example. When he can get on the half turn, you can put Ruben Diaz in the back of him. You can put John Stones. You can, by boy, like you can put both of them in the back of him. He will turn those two like a bottle cap and play a pass forward. That's how Anthony Martial works when he's on form. So
that's why
the problem is, the only problem is though, if you play Marcus Rashford doing that, you ain't going to get anywhere. You need to be playing the ball over the top or behind. Which City, I think they're going to be too smart to allow that to happen. Anyway.
Listen, the new system which they play, they stop the transition anyway. They lessen the transition. Big up Java says, come on, Rin, cheer up, bro. We've got to believe the footballing gods are too generous. Well, you know what?
Come on.
But I'm a realist. bro. At the moment, I see that with Martial and Anthony out, I don't see even options of the bench. So it is what it is. That's just my feeling.
Forget the bench. We have to win it in 90. We have to win this game in 90 minutes.
Perfect game. And this Manchester United team have got to write themselves into history. We know about Lou Macari because Lou Macari scored the goal to beat Liverpool that stopped Man City. Alien Tenor was there. But big up Jarvis. Big up to everybody. Listen, I can only speak my truth, and that's me. I'm not doing no psychological stuff. If City score first, we're going to get slaughtered. Trust me, because I know how City play. I watch them. They go for the second goal and the third goal. But
our heads will drop.
Right.
If City score first, our heads are going to drop, man.
Yeah. And we already know this team can capitulate and think that they can go for it. We already seen that this season. And that's why I always say, if I catch Eric Tenhag cycling in the outskirts of Manchester, I'm going to tell him, know who the fuck you're managing. Know who you're managing. This ain't fucking Ajax, mate. Know who the fuck you're managing. We're not here to get embarrassed. If Manchester United get beat tomorrow, I'll take it. 3 results in a football game. Win, lose, draw. But there's a way of losing and there's a way of fucking winning. There's a way to lose. There's a right way to lose and there's a right way. There's only one winner in it. There's no wrong way to win or not win. Other than Jose Mourinho way. Anyway, I think that's anti-football.
All right, listen, why don't you sing us out of the show with Bon Jovi's Living on a Prayer, man? Go on, hit us with that.
That's how it is. That's
Whoa.
That's what we are doing. We're living in a prayer. But at the end of the day, one of the most incredible things about football is that, for me, at its best, at its core best, football is what? Football is pure, unscripted drama. That's what football is. That's what attracts all of us, billions around the world, into watching football, because at its best, it's pure, unscripted drama. And not always the best team wins. So, like Bumbaye said, but we'll see. We shall see. To me, it's about these players. I don't have much faith in a lot of the players. I don't. I'm afraid I don't. And Martial, for me, can get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of my football club, Martial. And I'm the guy that was the original Martial FC, the German FC. Get the fuck away from this football club. Because to me, I always at the back of my head was thinking, with him, we might have a chance. Exactly like Tom said. He can receive it on the front foot or the back foot. Even though the way that he's been falling about like a heavyweight fucking boxer lately, at least at City, it's psychological with him. Because his goal-scoring record against Manchester City is really good. Every City fan I speak to says, oh, Martial, they're all celebrating. In a WhatsApp group that I'm in where City fans are in, they're celebrating Martial is out. And some of them are saying, oh, he's my... So the others are saying, oh, this is all mind games. No, he's out. Martial is injured, so we can get the fuck out of this football club. Because I'm not having you being there. I'm not having anybody being there, especially when you're that type of player. Under Jose, I watched some of the shittest football I have ever watched in my life at Manchester United. I lost all my fucking hair because of Jose football. But the only player I went into that stadium to watch that got me off my seat was Anthony Martial when he received the ball. But now, done data, mate. See you later. Gone. Those of you follow me, that guy, Red Devil, Mr. Structure. As soon as I heard that news, I was like, I'm done. He can get the fuck out of this football club. I'm done. And nobody said, oh, no, I'm done. I am done. You are
I was done 3 years ago, bro, with that guy. You've been clinging on. It's not there,
You're not
man.
a 21-year-old kid. You are 27 to 28. You do everything. You're a multi-fucking millionaire. You do everything in your power to be fit for a Saturday or Sunday or a Wednesday, Tuesday. You would do anything. And that, to me, says something about his fucking life. That something about his life and the way he lives his life is something that's stopping him from being fit. Modern technology and sports science is incredible at this moment in time. It's like maths. It's like fucking maths. It's like quick maths. And you can do all sorts of things to prevent yourself from having injuries. But it is what it is. Big up to everybody. Like I said, at its purest, football is unscripted drama. And those 11 players who take the pitch tomorrow for Manchester United have a chance to write themselves into history. Which the last decade has been the biggest bag of shite that I've witnessed. The biggest bag of shite. 2 League Cups, 1 FA Cup, and a shitty Europa League for the past decade. While Man City have cleaned up. Chelsea were cleaning up. So, their election of duty has been at the heart of Manchester United. Fish always roster from the fucking head. So tomorrow, United players, you have the opportunity to write yourself into fucking history. 30 years time, 40 years time, they'll be talking about, remember that team that stopped City from doing the treble that year? Like we speak about Lou Macari. I wasn't born in the 70s, but I know about that. I've watched a DVD. Liverpool already won Liverpool won the European Cup. Liverpool won the league. Came to Wembley. Lou Macari said, nah, you're not doing it. We're not doing this today. So those Manchester United players tomorrow, it's on them. And Tenhag knows it. And his last speech at Old Trafford, he gave it to them. He said it's up to these players. So let's see what happens tomorrow. But do not be shocked if Cowardly FC turns up because they have a habit of turning up. That's why I'm talking about 4 or 5. We either get smashed or we nick it 1-0. That's how it is for me. We either get smashed or win. There's no 2 ways about it. But big up to
living on a prayer now.
subscribe to the channel. Already subscribe.
Praise God. Praise God. Praise God.
We're raw. We're real. We're real and raw. None of this about no. We don't. We raw. We're real. Everybody says their bit. So smash a like on the video because it boosts the algorithms. We're on the road to 10K, and let people know. Tell your nan's friend, her friend, and her friend. Trust me. Big up to everybody. Tom Journalist 1 on Twitter at Tom Journalist 1. Sean Thomas at Sean Thomas on Twitter. And the podcast is How We See Things. Bumbaye is tied to this channel. Mighty Mundo, when the Glazers leave, you will hear him tweeting like his tweets are like going out of business. Like Twitter's going out of business. If the Glazers leave, Mundo will be tweeting like it's out of business, like Twitter's going out of business. And then last but not least, Malcolm, make sure you go and check out Malcolm and his YouTube channel is MK United 19. So go and check it out, people. Love and light, people. That's how it is. We could talk about the Glazers. We could talk about the FG. But to be fair, I'm not asked about it. I just want to focus on the game. From everything that I'm seeing, people that were telling me the club will be sold in March, where the fuck are you? I remember me telling you, I don't need to be a financial expert to know that Manchester United were not going to be sold in March. I told you and everybody else. All those IDK dickhead accounts, you're talking nonsense. Stop absolutely doing this madness to the fan base. And everybody else who's falling for the absolute BS, Manchester United getting their business done early. Oh my God. You have to be some of the most gullible fans I've ever known. Gullible human beings. Forget football fans. That Manchester United are in talks with this player, that player. Do not get PR spinned Do not fall for the PR spin. Manchester United need you to know the perception. They're doing the perception, but it's all about action. Do not go on click and get clickbaited. Go until you see action from this fucking football club, because the perception is more important to them than the actual reality and the action. But you know what? I'll finish up on this positive one. Come on, United. These players, you owe the fan base this. Players that have been there for 8 years owe the fucking fan base this. Players who've been there for 10 years, you owe the fan base this. Go out there tomorrow, leave everything on the pitch. Trust me. If I get a ticket, I'm going to know in the morning. If I get a ticket, I'm there, and you do that. You leave everything on that football pitch. Win, lose, I will be clapping you till the end.
Have you not got a ticket?
Go out there, make the United, the badge proud. Make Manchester United proud. Because there's a right way to lose fucking football games. And there's a cowardly way to lose it. Peace, love, and light, people. We'll see you for the match reaction tomorrow night.
Oh,
Vultures
we're
out.
halfway there.
Living on a prayer.
We are living on a fucking... Listen, we are living more than on a prayer.
Dino, take one.
It is what it is. But love and light, people. Take care, people. Love and light. See you tomorrow.
Come on, boys. Come on.
Reaction, hopefully I'll get
Okay,
all.
Come on, the Reds, man. Come on, the mighty Reds.
You got there's a chance, there's an opportunity to write themselves into history. There's an opportunity to write themselves into history. That's how they have to look at it. That's how they have to look at it. Take care, people. Good night. Love and light. Peace.